All right, ill. Give me a second. All right, what up?
What up? We're here.
We
Episode
here.
3.
Episode Trace,
Trace. You know what I'm saying?
right?
Trace songs.
It's good to be back, man.
Word.
It's good to be
For
back.
sure.
So how you doing, man? Seems like a week seems so long at times when we got shit going on, but
Oh, man. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm good. Grinding, same thing.
Man. Man, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm just coasting, man. It feels great to just have something solid out in my area and being able to continue to do what I love to do, which is dance and, teach. So, I mean, I know people say it a lot, but I can't complain,
Right? That's for real. That's for
So,
real.
can't complain. Yeah, man.
All right. Let's see. Excuse me. I think today we're going to be talking about what the b-boy versus breakdancer debacle debate
Oh, yeah.
situation. Which is
Okay.
interesting because like a month ago I was kind of talking about this with some choreo heads because they had no idea. They had no idea.
Oh, well, I mean, a majority of people that are into, I would say, studio dance, right? Like are going to say that, right? They're going to use that term. And I mean, so like, I mean, elaborate a little more on that. Like what was that like?
Oh, it's just interesting. Like they know that some stuff is like b-boy or those are breakdance moves, but they don't really know that within the culture of that move or what they're basically sampling, what they're kind of taking some from, they don't know that there's like these rules or these like unwritten rules or you know what I mean? Tomato. When you're over there, you say tomato. Over here, you say tomato. Like there's those things you don't really pick up about the cultures you're kind of sampling from. It's very surface.
Right.
For me, that's kind of how I took it. I just was really like, yo, like, it's interesting. You like the little footwork moves and you kind of do them in your choreography, but you don't know enough about the dance. And I'm not saying you should be some like historian. That would be nice, but
I mean, are we historians when we refer to other styles like a ballet, or tap or jazz or anything like popping, like locking? Like you should know. Like you don't have to be a historian to really, know what we do. It's not like rocket science.
yeah, it's true. That's true. Or what we call it.
Yeah, like I mean, but I guess we all, in a sense, have used that word, even in the, I would say in the beginning, there's people that come from, I would say the origins of the dance that used it for media purpose as well. So like, so like we can't really like chomp at the bit when it comes to people using the break dancing versus, breaking, all we can do is educate these people and just kind of, use that opportunity when it arises, and you just say, hey, look, this is, I'd rather be called, a b-boy, and I break. That's what I do.
yeah.
But yeah, there's some people that'll irritate you with it. I had somebody come up to me, just the other day, me and my students, and they're like, what is it that you do? What is it? Yeah, the bebopping? Like, yo, chill. Like, I've told you time and time again, like what this is, Yeah. That's where it kind of gets irritating with me, I would say, is you're doing your best to educate these people and they still,
Yeah. It's not getting accepted and they're not receptive to anything. And it's just like, thanks for telling me. But it's like, you didn't retain nothing.
Like nothing I said. And you just have to learn how to deal with that over time.
Yeah.
And I mean, so I mean, you're teaching choreo people some breaking, you know, and it's so easy to roll off their tongue too, like the break dance, like, you know.
Yeah. For me, it's like it's a state of mind, I guess, more than anything to me.
Yeah.
As weird as it sounds or cliche to say, but you know, you come up, you kind of just break or you break dance or whatever with your homies and stuff. But then as you start kind of like really falling in love with the culture, you realize it's like, oh, it's a b-boying, and oh, that's like a b-boy's kind of like got this about him, these values or something. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's when it like it's more of a who than what kind of thing or whatever. You know what I mean?
You know, man, I'm gonna be 100 with you. Like when you think about where it stems from, I mean, we can't keep disrespecting the cats out there who are living that hip hop life, you know, because it is hip hop out there. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And so when I think about it, they really embrace the origins of the culture as well, you know, and I just want to show its, you know, respect, you know, to the roots of it all. You know, I'm here on the West Coast, always have been, always will be. But there's people out there that dive into the history really deep. And so I just like to keep everything, you know, out of respect, you know, when it comes to using terms or when it comes to like, you know, talking about the dance itself. And I just like to listen because, you know, I wasn't alive in 70, 76, 77. I wasn't alive. I was born in 80.
Same.
So, you know, like, I mean, there's people that fabricate stories, but I still like to listen to everything, you know.
For sure. Because when you appreciate it, when you're a fan or a fanatic of the culture, all that stuff matters. All the little tidbits of information. That's what's up.
I mean, I'm still teaching, you know, new people weekly, and you get these parents that come in and are like, oh yeah, we really like breakdancing, and I'm like, okay, well, here we break here, you know, we're b-boys, and this is, you know, we're part of the hip hop culture. Oh, you take hip hop too? And I'm like, you know, you just want to hug them sometimes.
Yeah,
you know, a little bit, take them outside. They
don't know no better.
You know, like one of those, like, I don't know, like it's like a, you know, are you there for your partner type commercial where you hug them at the end of the commercial? You know, look, this is what it is. Like, you know, yeah, like, I mean, and it's okay. It's okay with me. I'm not going to take it too serious because we're talking about the same thing here, honestly. So you're right. We can't really be too upset because we see it from our point because we do it. They see it because they think it's interesting, you know?
Yeah.
And, I mean, I will touch on something. My boys that train here at my studio, they got asked to do a multicultural show, and they're like, hey, can your boys come and break dance at our multicultural fair or something? And I'm like, okay, yeah. And they're like, you know, we'll buy you a pizza.
What?
And I'm like, yeah, nah. You know, like, my boys really work hard, and, you know, they're starting to notice the lingo that some people use and, you know, what they're offered for the work that they put in. And, you know, it's sad, but they're maturing, you know, in that sense. They're becoming b-boys. They're seeing what people in the culture of hip hop have to deal with on the daily, you know, they're stereotypes, man, you know, and yeah.
So he offered food at an event that food was already going to be at.
Yeah.
As payment.
Yeah. That you remember when you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, you know, so it's can't do that no more. So that's that breakdance stuff that I don't like. You know, that's the stuff that I don't like. I think that's unfair. And we need to start treating this youth a little bit more respectful, because this is what it's about. It started with kids and it's going to end with kids, right? Or it's going to forever grow with kids,
Because of kids, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like it's going to end for me while I watch kids do this. And, um, and so we just got to prepare the youth, and, teach them, hey, how to respond to people like this, right?
Yeah, exactly. How to like engage, how not to engage, what battles to fight, what battles to just walk away from. Yeah.
Because that's great. That's really great right there.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes you got to have a battle and sometimes you don't. And you got to kind of know when to pick them and choose them, fold them and hold them, right?
Man, that's that's wisdom right there, brother. Especially for these young men out here, and you think about it, you get families that approach you. Like I had a phone call the other day. A parent was concerned about bringing their child here. They were interested, but she was concerned because, he was not a little brown boy. He was a little white boy. And when I think about it, she approached me with it and she's like, will he fit in? Is he gonna? And I'm kind of like, this is opportunity.
Exactly. Yeah.
To sit there and say, hey, look, this is not what you think. This culture is beautiful and it's for everybody. So don't come in with the attitude that, hey, look, will he fit in? There's cats all around the world that are dope. Doesn't matter what color you are, And I said that before on one of our, podcasts here. But they do have to understand that it's a Black and a Latino, or heavily influenced with Latino culture dance. Like, come on, like that's not hard to understand. But yes, your child is welcome. Let's go. He's a kid. Let's do it. And to have like an opportunity to bless her with open arms and say, hey, look, bring him over here. I got him.
Yeah.
And that's where crew love comes in. Loyalty to, your place where you learning and your crew, your peers, that's hip hop to me. Like that's hip hop to me,
For sure.
And that's when they start to grow out of that breakdance type of field.
Nah, 100%, man. Like that's the moment. Those are the moments you want to be able to insert hip hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When those kind of moments happen about like racial, just questioning, just racial stancing. Like, can we fit here? Can I do this? Like, man, like hip hop's the best thing to interject and bring people together. Like, that's awesome to have a moment like that. That's dope. You know what I mean? That's super dope.
We've been getting hit with a few things like that, and I mean, fellow teachers will they'll address me with like, like, what is it that you do? And, in front of my students, and my students, it was like a bittersweet for me because you see them getting blessed with the opportunity to respond to that type of stuff, but then grow within their dance at the same time by not necessarily dancing, like they're like, yo, what? Like, what did you call it? And these are they put in work 3 times a week. They've been dancing for, maybe a little over a year and a half. And they're starting to notice how people talk about our culture or talk about our dance. And that right there is a part of, becoming involved with the community of hip hop and becoming a B-boy to me. Like you're starting to see, because you're getting good and because you're starting to be more active with this with this dance, people are talking a whole nother language now to you.
Yeah.
And it's just people like myself, people like you. We're here to educate these parents, educate these other dance teachers that we work with. And, we can't really be upset. We just gotta just keep moving and we'll get there one day eventually,
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I was kind of breaking some of that down to my homie last night. He's a youngin'. He's older now, but he's a hip hop director for a studio. And I was just saying, like use this opportunity to try things. And since you're the hip hop director, like, give them hip hop knowledge,
Yeah.
throw some pop quizzes and give them a prize or something like
Right.
do something. And I was just telling him, you know, as a director, you got a shot now to kind of like do stuff and try it and see what works and what sticks. But it's kind of your like unwritten responsibility as a director of a studio, if you reach that position, you know, like to try to keep feeding the culture the right way into that facility, that organization. So super important.
It is, and it is. It's I mean, we're involved with these studios, you know, like I work for a studio and I'm blessed to be there. I really love the opportunity of working, you know, in this place, and teaching so many kids, because I mean, when I think about being the only real official instructor in this area of California, that's a big responsibility, you know, sometimes, man. And one thing that makes me happy is that these kids, they love to cipher. They love to like work on new things. They love to battle, and they love using terms within the dance and the culture. Like, you know, I got kids now, I'm walking into class, they're there, they're like, yo, Charles. I'm like, yo, what's up? You know, like, how you doing? And it makes me feel great inside, you know? And you hear them talking about breaking, and they're like, yo, okay, let's go top rock, you know, guard, sweep, you know, Zulu spin, freeze, you know, like it's they're learning, you know, and just seeing a smile on these kids' face, man, it just does. It's like, that's my life coffee, you know, it wakes me up, you know, and because come on, man, let's be real. Like, I see people trying to learn new things with in their 40s, mid 40s, and I'm like, cool, that's great, like, awesome. But, you know, if you're trying to do this at 44 years old, like, big up to you, you know. But if you're trying to let people know, hey, look, this is what I'm learning. Like, I don't know. We're all students, but there's other things you can do within your mid 40s. I think that you can use your dance, you know what I'm saying, a little bit. You know, that's just how I feel. Like, and so when I think about it, I'm not going to be dancing hard in my mid 40s, man. Like I said, I want to walk, you know, I want to be able to function with my arms, you know, pick up my kids and hug them, you know, swing them around, you know, like on the grass. So
in the sprinklers.
In the sprinklers, you know, like Dad, let's run to the sprinklers. Dad's knee is broken. I can't do it. Like, you know, I don't want to tell my children that, you know.
Right. Yeah, don't want that. Nah, but I think what you're saying is vital, man. Like, you know, it's cool to challenge yourself. Especially as you get older, that's all good and dandy. But you know, we've kind of said this off camera. It's like, yo, now that we're older, we should be documenting, or we should be giving this wisdom out. You know, we should be contributing more here than physically. You know what I mean? Like, and that slowly should just change. Not like, don't try to be ambitious and crazy, but you know, you could be leading so much. It's doing so much. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So much more. And I would say, like, that's that breakdance stuff. That's that corny breakdance stuff right there. I'm like, yo, come on now. Like, you know, what other areas, I'd say, of like, you know, breaking are you growing in? Right? Like, you know, for example, like, do I really need to go do 1090s, 12, 1490s, which I can. But how many times do I need to do that to prove the point? What's next on the what's new? What's next? You know, I understand that. Like, do I need to go do, you know, 100 one-arm air flares? I mean, maxing out when I was in my 20s and 30s is okay with me. You know, now I want to be able to develop something new through those skills that I understand. You know, I mean, sitting here top rocking all night, or you know, finding new ways to get to the floor, you know, without using my hands and just using my back or something, you know, is interesting to me, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, there's just something, there's just new things, but I want to be able to develop something for people to learn from too, with what I'm working on. And I mean, that's B1 to me, that's breaking to me, is always finding something new, you know, and keeping yourself active and healthy, especially when you're getting up to your late 30s or your early 40s, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, and because that keeps you happy too, you know?
Yeah. For me, it's just like b-boying versus breakdancing. It's kind of like, yo, like if you want to just teach, but you know, you come around, you do a workshop here and there, that's cool. But if you don't actually got like a few killers you can point at and be like, yo, I helped those dudes. Like no credit, like not like I did something, but you know, I helped these dudes specifically. Like I really worked with this guy and this guy and this guy. Now look, you know, they holding it down. Like that's a badge of honor, you know what I mean? So to me, that's kind of more like when I left to go into the choreo realm, that's kind of where I took my pride. More like, okay, I remember I used to work with this cat a lot. I'm so glad he's still doing it and he's killing it. And he's, you know what I mean? So there should be some kind of like, not only just the honor of it, but a sign. You should be able to see who somebody taught and how far they took it and who they taught next. You should be able to see kind of where it gets passed on. You know what I'm saying? And for some of these cats that I know that have been in the game longer than me, I'm like, it's cool you pop up and do a couple like workshops, but to me that's like the break dance. That's not the b-boying. The b-boying is like, it's like generational. You know what I mean? Like lineage. You know what I'm saying? So.
And it comes down to like what people can see what you're doing it for. You know, people can see that.
Facts.
You know, I've been around since 1993, man, and you know, I'm not saying like I'm this guru or something, but I mean, I've always been about learning and understanding myself, you know, and trying to understand what makes me feel good when I hit the floor. And you know, everybody is from different walks, different areas of the country, of the world. We all learn differently. Like I said, I was heavily influenced with the Hmong community out here, you know, the Asian community, me and my crew. And, you know, sometimes, you know, you get judged today for being the dancer who you are, but people never really ask, hey, you know, how did that guy learn, for one? Maybe that can, you know, help me understand his dance a little better or her dance a little better, you know? And, you know, that's why I'm like, I'm not really quick to judge too much on somebody, because, you know, I just look at the areas where I could, you know, hey, possibly lend a hand, you know. Self-esteem is really big for me, especially teaching with kids. I teach a boy with ADHD. I've taught kids with autism, and it's a struggle, but you can see that this dance helps them, you know. And to me, that's breaking. That's hip hop to me. Like, is using the power of hip hop to touch on lives everywhere, especially with people who are having these disabilities. You know, teachers in schools don't really understand what's wrong with the child. You bring them to a breaking class and they excel faster than anybody I've ever seen in my life, you know? So I think that's, for me, that's what I love about breaking. You know what I mean? That's what I love about hip hop. And so I don't know. Sometimes I think people are looking for too much attention, and they really show it. You know, if you grab attention in a way where it's modest, you know, and people know you deserve it, yeah. Like, I don't have a problem with people like being sponsored or anything. You know, some other people might say, hey, that's that breakdance shit. Me, I think that's kind of tight. That's like,
okay.
You know, like, it's dope that this person is being recognized and he's being, you know, sponsored or whatever, you know. And I mean, I don't hate on that either. It's a real fine line, I guess, you know.
Yeah, I guess for me it kind of depends on what you do with it, but more so like that's a good thing, man. Like getting sponsored, that's outside money going into the culture, and then if it's on a b-boy level, that's the grassroots of the culture. So like, you gotta be like happy about that. So,
and I think it's always good to be around. Like somebody like me, I'll be around, and those people that are sponsored are, you know, you never know. They're going to different countries. They're probably touching on different villages, teaching cats in, you know, rural areas, man. Like, you know, and I'm sure they do great work out there. And I like to think positive on that too.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I really do. Like, I don't know. I think there's some cats out here that really don't understand the dance as a whole, you know, like, and how much beauty or how much it has to teach us, because there's so much to learn from it. And I mean, you could say for me, for example, like I grew up doing a lot of power moves. I mean, I like to believe that I was one of the people that helped push the limit of them. And to each his own, whoever don't believe that.
That's fair enough. For me, yeah. But you know, I go nowhere besides outside of California.
But I'm going to tell you like this. Man, I'm glad that I stuck around for so long to try new things in the dance and try to better myself each year or each time that dance changed. You know, I wanted to learn more. I mean, and so you just change your whole steez changes a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
You're not running in here like in a hurry to do 20 air flares in front of 10 people, you know.
Yeah.
Things just change.
You can mature as a man, and the dance can mature with you as a man. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of even going full circle back to what we're talking about, is like being 40 and just almost kind of getting a little ridiculous. But, you know, you can mature with the dance. You can mature with hip hop culture the same way you're watching kind of like Jay-Z mature with his rap rhyme style as he's older. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the beauty of hip hop. It can grow, get older. It's not like it's only for the young crazy motherfuckers. Like,
and it's like here I'm talking about people in studios, or I'm talking about the common person using the wrong lingo, right, or the wrong term, right?
Yeah.
But there's cats that have been actively involved with hip hop as well. MC still calling us breakdancers. Like, there's a cat out here, man. I went to a lounge and some dude was like, "Oh, you know so and so? If you don't know so and so," and he's like some legend, Fresno legend, you know. And he's like, "Yo, if you don't know this person, then you ain't a real breakdancer." And I was like, "I don't know that person." You know what I mean? So like, you just got to be smart with it. You got to burn them, you know, burn them, and you know, be done. And you know, you're looking at this guy like, man, you've been involved with the culture for how long, and you still calling us breakdancers? You tripping, man. You know, like, there's cats with nice flow, good delivery out here. Don't know anything about b-boys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you supposed to be rapping about us, homie.
Right.
But
right.
And you know, I think about it, and that's why I'm here, especially for my city, is to educate these people, leave my mark, you know, as B-Boy Goku for sure, you know, Soul Control Climax crew, DIS crew, the educator for breaking, you know, in the Central Valley, like, and you know, and I'm not perfect, but I'll tell you what, I'll do my damn best trying to educate these people on what I do every day and what I live every day, you know.
Facts.
And you know, and if it's, I mean, if I touch a few, hey, job done, right?
Yeah, for sure. And that's all you can ask for, is just to pass it on, and hopefully to some good people that could pass it on, and boom, you know, represent why you're here.
Yeah,
that's it, man.
And I mean, the more I talk to some of these G's too, from like, you know, the East Coast, especially from the Bronx area, I mean, I'm blessed, man, to be able to kind of like talk to these people and share, and they can share with me. And, you know, I try to pick people's brains as much as I can. And, you know, I mean, we all got to deal with that ego as well, right? And, you know, but then there's the part of the ego, which is called the id, where you need basic necessities to function. You know, you need the ego sometimes to function, right? And at this point, I'm like, yo, on some breaking, on some history stuff, some hip hop stuff, I want to know. That's a part of my id now. You know what I'm saying?
Dropping them jewels, son. Damn,
yeah,
son.
I mean, balance. I was talking to my oldest about the balance. You know, and there we go. Break dancing versus breaking. You know, b-boying, b-girling. Yo, there's a balance, and we ain't got to be super pissed off. I mean, we ain't got to create super duper crazy memes for people to get the picture. Just speak to them like a normal person.
Yeah.
You know, explain to them about that MF Doom shirt you got on, right? Like, explain to them about like the Charlie Brown MF Doom. You know, like tell them like they're just gonna be like, oh, Charlie Brown has a mask on. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Yeah.
And yo, like that's why we're here. That's why we're dropping jewels.
Exactly, man. I think something just kind of like that popped to me a little earlier was like, what if breakdancing, not b-boying, went to the Olympics? Like, what if it was that? Then what would happen? Like, would people that say they're b-boys not enter the Olympic thing? Or, you know what I mean? So, like, what if because of the media term they actually picked, could that change how people react to even going for it or not? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, in the 80s, right? There was people traveling for the dance, people making money for the dance and videos, traveling, touring. And they, you know, I'm sure that the term was used even in that manner, right? Like, in that era, like, and what they were, you know, they used the breakdance term for what purpose? I'm sure it was used. Common sense is a myth to people, but not to me. So when I think about it, even some of the realest b-boys had to use it.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know for a fact, but I would assume, you know, like that it was used because there was money to be made, right? There was touring to do. You know, like Rocksteady had like an album out, right? Or like a song. I mean,
yeah.
So when you think about that, I mean, hey, I don't doubt it. And I mean, if it goes to the Olympics and that term is used, I mean, I'm glad I'm not responsible. I mean, I'm glad that's not living on my shoulders.
Yeah, for sure.
That would have to live on whoever is in partnership with the IOC and from our community. That would be on them, you know, but
the bridge.
Right. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not going to support those people who are helping push the issue with breaking in the Olympics. I'm still going to support them. You know, nothing is perfect, man. Nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and we should back the people, you know, and if you got your own gig going on, you got your own life and you're living your best life in your local town or something, yo, if you got it going on, you're not going to complain about people. You're not going to reach super hard and start throwing shade, throwing salt on people, you know, for what they're trying to do. This is what they feel you know, what they believe it to be, then let them do it. Like,
yeah.
And I appreciate those OGs too that really say, hey, you know, you shouldn't use the term legend or pioneer, you know, or you shouldn't say this. You know, I appreciate that because we have to think it's passionate to those that laid the foundation, and they love it just as much as we do, maybe more.
True that.
You know, I just try to open up my heart to it, and try to be a better b-boy through it, you know, and use my ears to kind of develop myself as one day, hopefully, a G of my own, you know, like.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man, because some young kids might come up and say something, and you're just like, yo, don't throw that around like that. Like, you know, it's just weird.
You know, this is crazy. Like, when you think about style and you think about, like, being fresh, right? So I had on this jacket on, you know, last night.
Mm-hmm.
And like 5 people were like, yo, that's a fresh jacket. Young kids, like, yo, that's a fresh jacket. Yo, that jacket's fresh. Yo, people know what's up with Steez. They know, you know, they know when you have that certain demeanor about you, you know, the way you walk, the way you talk, like,
yeah.
up, man. You know, like people are not that damn stupid. You know what I'm saying? So like, this cat walked up to me, and then I had to ask him. I was like, "Yo, man, you playing me?" He was like, "Oh no, no." And I was like, "Well, thank you for the compliment." You know, and you got to learn how to respond, like, and react. And I think that that's why G's are good to have around, is because like they'll teach you some respect. They'll teach you, how to be like. No, you can't just walk up on somebody and start spitting, in their face. You can't do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Not
anybody. You got to know.
And then like I don't think I'll ever have to come across that, because out here in Fresno, like people got love, people show respect, and I appreciate it in my local community. And regardless of, cats that say they're a part of the culture of hip hop getting muraled on walls and stuff, like if they don't know, I'm here still, so I'm gonna let people know.
Yeah, right. Damn, man. Since we just kind of got on that Olympics, do you think we should bring in?
Let's plan that for a special day for these people, so we can kind of intro him and make it like a really good thing. That would be really dope.
Okay.
Because I think that when we talk about the Olympics, that we need to get people ready, like, and so it needs to be some type of long, I would say, conversation for people, because they're going to have to understand that you got to eat right, you got to sleep right, you got to be able to stay away from the social media arguments type stuff. You really got to build yourself up. And not only because that's going to get the attention of people who want you to be at the Olympics, but just for your own mental sake and your own, emotional state, where you need to prepare. Like, when you think about it, like people are about to go to battle at the Olympics, they got to be on some like real training shit. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so I think that that's going to be a good episode. Maybe the 4th or 5th episode, we could really light that up.
Yeah, that'd be dope, man. That'd be dope to really get a Olympian's perspective, because like I said, man, some of these people been doing this their whole life.
Yeah.
Since 3. Like, some people just started a little late and they're just really gifted. So
and it's appreciate those people that are staying healthy through breaking. And shit, man, I'm about to be 39 and I feel great.
Hey.
And I want to keep feeling great, so sometimes, they say too much of something is too bad, and it is what it is, though. Like I want to be able to balance this dance too as older as I get. But I mean, even if I'm fit, if I feel in shape, I feel healthy, man, time, man, it ain't gonna wait for us. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Time don't wait for us, man.
Not at all.
Yeah. So, and yeah. But yeah. So what's next, man?
What's next? I was gonna do that whole give me 5 good things, 5 bad things, but I don't know if we should put people or put the scene on blast in general.
Like what? Let's talk about it. What's up?
Right. Tell me like 5 things about the scene now that you like, and tell me 5 things about the scene that you don't like.
Whew. First off,
let's start with the bad news first. The 5 bad things that kind of like irk you about the scene today.
Let's talk about it.
We're gonna be old man status right now.
The scene. I don't really believe in a scene. I don't believe in a scene when it comes to this. Like, scene to me is like high school, homie. I don't believe in the high school type of environment. I'm too mature in this dance. I'm a little bit outdated with that. You know what I'm saying? Or am I? I don't know. But I think people need to stop using that term, the scene. You're not a senior in high school, and that's the scene. The term scene to me is like you're just a bunch of jocks chilling around like your car or something, talking about like what it used to be like or something. I don't know. Like, you know, trying to school people, and you got like this Letterman's jacket on that says "I'm the realist" or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then there's people that just do work on the flip side of that. They just do work, man, and just put it in. And there's a lot of people that just put it in.
Yeah.
Two, I think what bothers me about the scene is that you're seeing people play devil's advocate all over the place.
Just because, or more people like really have that other kind of angle, or we don't know.
Have that angle. I think people are coming at stuff with that angle these days. I mean, I get it, I guess, but I don't get it. And I mean, people will start trouble. They just start trouble, and they talk a big game, you know, and then they don't really. They got to really respect. Like we said, I'm not going to test somebody from the 70s and 80s, man. Are you serious? Like, think about where somebody's from. Don't test them. Like, you're really going to test a cat from Fresno, California, who started breaking in 1993 when, like, the tension for gangs was real high.
Don't want to do it.
Don't do that. Like, that's not smart.
Not at all.
But you see people that just love to pick because social media allows us to do that. Right? And everybody's, you know, everybody's like, some people can't make up their mind whether they want to be a b-boy, a model, a martial artist, a Backstreet Boy, or a movie star. Like, that's confusing to me. Like, and it, you know, like, or and then they throw in the MMA fighter on that too. Like, everybody's trying to be the best at everything. Like, no. So that's one thing that bothers me as well. Is like, you know, I'm not saying to not do other things. Of course, do other things. But if you're a student of life and you're trying to do other things, some people should practice humility a little bit better, more. Be a little bit more modest when you're doing these new art forms, you know. Especially, those art forms should help you within this dance as well.
Yeah, if they're going to take from it, they should be able to give to it as well.
Right.
For sure.
I mean, I think you got a lot of young people, like, and which is okay. It's okay that they're taking skill sets or skills from other people. You know, like, I think about like how many people B-Boy Thesis has influenced. You know, like, Thesis is an amazing B-Boy. Like, he's an amazing dancer. Like, amazing. Just, yeah, I think he's amazing.
Yeah, he's ill.
Yeah, and you have, like, you know, you have people just taking things. And some of these kids, they need to know, like, yo, you can't just take. And it's okay with, like, for me, like, I mean, there's some things I feel like I developed, but it's what it is. I did this because it made me feel good. Some people may have a different opinion on, like, biting. But we all are biters in a sense, but not, like,
blatantly.
Blatant. You know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't for Kid Freeze, none of us would be doing all these crazy power moves. Or Icy Ice, you know, like, none of us would be doing crazy, like, power moves. Like, man, just, you know, that's what I would hope that, like, people getting involved with this dance who've been dancing about 5 or 6 years would acknowledge. It's okay to have that ego. You need that ego to battle. You need that ego to win, you know? And honestly, battling is a part of, I mean, if you're going to battle, that's an aspect of competition. So that's equal to being sport somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And now that's another thing why I want people to understand, if you compete in a cypher, you still trying to compete for something. Respect,
being the illest one at that cypher, or whatever.
You want to be the illest in the cypher, so that's competitive nature. That's kind of part about being a sport, right? Now you can walk away being a bad sport or a good sport. It's up to you. And that's another thing that bothers me is when people take a loss, they're always trying to find the flaw within a judge or within the person who won. And they don't want to look at themselves like, maybe you lost because you just lost.
You just lost. Wasn't your day.
Wasn't your day, right? Like any given Sunday, like today. It happens, man. Like,
yeah.
You know, this is how you know some people never played a sport. Never played a sport. They never got in line after the game was over and shook hands with the other team. They was the one that ran off the field, stole the orange slice, and jumped in their mama's car and ate and cried. Like, that's who they were, you know? So it's all about, like, being a good sport, man. And, like, I mean, just what if you didn't necessarily win, but you had one of the dopest rounds? Like, you just went buck, you know? Like,
yeah.
You know, like, you see cats doing that, and that's a win right there.
Right.
Like, that's a win. So those are like my 5 things, I think. And we just have so many talkers. There's just so many talkers. Yeah. And I'm on the fence, on the side of the fence where, bro, I never quit.
Yeah.
Like, I never quit. I keep putting out videos of me like last week or something. Like, I never quit. And, you know, people co-sign cats that have come and gone within this dance. Stop co-signing these dudes. They don't even know if they want to be involved or not. You know?
Facts.
Also, B-boys, take care of your kids. That's another thing. Take care of your families. Like, if you can't do that, don't be trying to teach people anything. There's this cat, like Mikey Ice. You ever heard of him?
I have.
Man, I can't stand this guy. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to push things under the rug. And I mean, to me, I would never let somebody teach my child if they can't even take care of their own kids, you know, or preach to me about culture, about appreciating culture, you know, or you just kind of a walking contradiction and be involved with your own kids. And, you know, we really need to step our game up as men. And I think you'll see the light, you know, within your dance when you do that, you know.
It's all connected. And,
you know, it's like, and I brought homeboy up because he just doesn't know when to stop. But I think that's a sickness in a sense where you keep doing the same old thing, you know, and you need to really look in the mirror and ask yourself, hey, man, what can I do to help people versus what I'm doing right now? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, we're all guilty in some sense, but I'll tell you what, like, I'll never let no man teach my kids when he's not taking care of his own family. So, you know, people need to really wake up because the kids is where it's at. The youth is where it's at. You know, stop. Some days you just got to sit down. You just got to say, stop. Like, I don't want to argue no more.
Just draw a line in the sand. Like, yo, from here on,
I mean,
ain't fucking with that.
And you know what, brother? And I don't have to dance anywhere. I could dance right here. I can go in my backyard, throw out some linoleum. I could just dance on the concrete. I could dance in my front yard. Like, I got dance. If you have dance, you have breaking in your life like that, there's no reason to really be upset. There's really no, you know, but you can see the reason why people make trouble or make drama. Like, there's no reason. Like, you're mad at you're mad at your situation, including like that dude Mike. Yo, you're mad at you. You're not mad at nobody but you, right? Like, I mean, when people have, you know, over and over tried to help you, you know, come on. Like, people are trying to help you. When are you going to learn to better yourself through these people's help? Like
get it together. Like, let someone's effort be worth it.
There you go.
Like,
you know, and so, you know, that's a jewel right there. Like, bro, it don't make no difference to me. I'm gonna always do this. I'm gonna teach it, for as long as I can. And when you think about that and you line up, you get your ducks in line, you end up buying a crib. It's got a studio in it. Are you serious? You could throw your own little mini freestyle session here for the kids, and be like, yo, but the real freestyle sessions in November, go check it out. Like,
Right.
inspire them to do those type of things, Nobody needs a bootleg tape. We got like YouTube, we got real instructors
Right.
to bless them, So, I mean, those are just those things that bother me. Cats want to claim to fame about being real, but we all still learning, man. This is such a young culture. Like, we're still young, we're still learning,
Completely. So give me the things you like, the 5 good things about this scene, this culture right now.
The influx of new people every day. Somebody's inspired by a b-boy or a b-girl every day now, because I have to say that can we say there's 1 million b-boys and b-girls on the planet now?
I think it's pretty safe to say that there's a.
I don't want nobody hitting us up like, God damn it, don't be spreading that. That's, hey, it's safe.
I mean, okay, if it's not, then what?
I mean, yeah, right?
I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
So there's 500,000.
Yeah, like, I think there's 1 million total, though. You're talking like every little country?
Every little country has somebody great.
Has enough.
I mean, man, I went to Rwanda, Africa, and saw some b-boys out there and was like, wow, this is dope. Like, so, like little cracks in the world, there's probably b-boys and b-girls, right? Like,
exactly.
So that right there to me is just seeing the numbers jump up with how many people are getting involved is dope. And that's why I think that it's really cool to keep these OGs involved and keep these people respected and loved and appreciate their efforts, because we're going to need them, because I think we're losing more that have been around since the beginning.
Yeah.
And we're gaining more youth,
more new blood,
and so that's a beautiful thing, for me to be able to watch, I mean, I don't have to be, involved with any heavy organization to play my part with that either, as a result of giving back to the community, to the culture. I don't have to be some major superstar to give back. I can just do that without people knowing,
Yeah.
I see young people, I'm going to say, like there's a young kid, his name is Zeku. He's real organized. He's like really taking things serious. He's inspiring a youth of kids out in Florida, to be better. And he works hard. So like, I really like that. I see kids like Icy Ives. He gets down. He's from Alaska, and he does a lot. You see people like Mad Action out in Japan, like just doing big business and doing organized things and working with, different crews and helping them push the professional side of, breaking a little more. So you see people graduating from college, becoming like physical therapists, also staying heavily involved with their career as b-boys or b-girls. You see mothers out here dancing, getting their kids involved culturally, getting their spouses to back them. That's beautiful. Our own children are being inspired to do this dance, whether they choose to do it later on or not. That's a plus for me. You see people that were throwing events when you were younger becoming bigger and better, and they're getting trusted to take on more responsibility within our community, and to help us grow. You're seeing icons of the dance become better examples. I love that.
That's
you see just kids in studios have a love for, let's say, other aspects of the culture, like graffiti or MCing, or that's a turntable? Yo, like, like kids that come from a different walk of life. You see people like myself get respected by business women who own their own facilities, get treated with love and respect. And, my opinions, they matter.
They got value.
They got value. And, the process is taking time, but everybody's playing their part in some type of way. And I just like to see these people happy, and I am seeing.
Uh-oh. Do we have some technical difficulties? Uh-oh. Let's call him back. Calling back the Gokus. Calling him back. We lost the Goku. Yo. We lost you for a second, but we got you back.
That's what's up. You got me on Facebook and on YouTube?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, man. But there's just so many positives. You see people being able to support themselves through breaking, because some people really love it. They love it. And it's hard to get away from it.
Yeah.
You imagine somebody just dropping breaking who's been doing it for the past 20 years. You see people coming back to the dance after a hiatus or whatever, and they're getting back into it full steam. And we need everybody involved. Whether some of us want to take a break and walk away, like myself, and just be involved with teaching, maybe developing some really cool programs. Who knows, for a team, a sponsored team, a crew, Olympic team, who knows, man? Like, I don't know, but I just stay optimistic about this whole movement going on. And because I'm still learning, physically, I'm able to do amazing things with myself. Knowledge wise, we're able to tell the youth. I was telling one of my students the other day after a really good practice session, he got Supermans or body glides really well. His name is Brandon. And he was like, Charles, sometimes school is so tough for me. It's hard for me to focus. And I was like, yeah, you just stay in there. That's where you win, is you hang in there, and use your dance to help you balance school. You gotta work for both.
Yeah.
So some people don't believe in sending their children to school, which is fine, but the people that are going, these are the type of things that we need to be telling these kids, hey, focus, balance, organize. I wish I had somebody in my face telling me that all the time, man.
Yeah.
Some of us grew up on the West Coast without the most knowledgeable teachers, but they did their best out here. So when I think about it, people are being able to do great things with this dance through hip hop. Look at Crazy Legs got honored, I think, for a Puerto Rican award or something like that.
That's dope.
Yeah, you see, and people acknowledge him as a part of the hip hop community. It's like, And we need to start pushing things like that a little more so that some of these questions can, you know, be answered and put to rest. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what that is. Like, of course, I'm always going to educate people on, like, let's say popping history out here with the EBs, multiple air flare history, you know, like right here, you know, that's just kind of how I feel. And I get to play my role with a lot of substance behind it.
No, for sure. Just like anybody that was coming into music in Detroit, they got to hear about Motown. You just got to. Like, that's it's just part of that. Part of the fabric of that community.
And I mean, and then talks like this are good so that, you know, when we put it out there, we have a series of things for people to see and listen to. And man, like, I mean, I'm always going to try to say something positive, you know, or something along the lines where people can really benefit from what I'm saying, you know. And I'm not the smartest man, but I'll give you my heart. It's right here, you know.
Yeah. That's the healthiest attitude, really. You know what I mean? To be optimistic, to give people the benefit of the doubt, you know, to have good faith. And then if they mess it up or they scorn it or whatever, then they do that, but not expecting that off the rip. You know, these are all like healthy mind states. These are all healthy like ways to look at just being active in the culture. You know what I mean? Like, and that's dope. I'm happy that you said that because it kind of something that like slips your mind, especially just being in it for so long that it's like, you know, that's important too. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think opportunity to be a better person as well, using your challenges, right? You got people, you know, discrediting what you've done, you know, or what I've done. And it's like, how do you handle that? I really like how I handle that these days, you know, because, you know, those same people are not going to walk through that door spitting that drama. Like, that's not, you know?
Yeah.
There's a difference between like being a boy, a man, and a father. So, you know what I mean? Like, being a father, you kind of really have no room for error. You really got to keep a tight knit here at home, you know?
And learning all the time.
You're learning from those little kids. And, so you have to deal with these grown men in a different light now, you know. And it's when I look at how people disrespect one another. If somebody, I had some real disrespect. I had some drunk dude come into my room at Silverback Open and just sit his ass on his bed and started cussing at me. You know, he got told the truth. He got escorted out, and then tried to get us jammed up. You know, and said we jumped him. Yo. That's trash. Like, people living like that within this community.
What?
No, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So when I think about it, man, people will try to play you, but it's just how you deal with it. And you know, I'll never let nothing like that happen to me. You know, and that's a good thing for myself.
For sure.
You know, because I know myself.
Yeah. No, for sure. But to have that healthy attitude of knowing, like, hey, you know, there's a line and you can't cross it, but I believe in you. I got love for you. I respect you. I have faith in you. If you're just starting to learn body glides or if you've been doing air flares for 10 years, it's the same, you know what I'm saying? And that's what's dope. It's all healthy, optimistic energy.
Yeah.
That's the shit. To me, that's the shit. Like,
and you know, like, people have been asking me about like, what is that? Touching in a battle.
Oh yeah.
From my era, my generation, this all right here is my space.
Yeah.
We need to be careful, like, on how we treat the ladies within the dance as well. Don't touch them. You know, if you want to do a burn, okay, throw a burn, dope. I've seen people do really dope burns 10 feet away from the b-boy.
Yeah.
You know, of course, I was a b-boy with aggressive nature. But you know, there was times where cats outside of that battle was running a yap, get a little too close to me, and get done in. You know, like you shouldn't be touching people like in a battle. Like show some etiquette, you know, cypher etiquette or you know whatever.
Yeah.
And have some respect for their space or whatever. Like, but then the person on the other end should know how to control themselves too. Like, to say you got somebody, you know, rocking on you, throwing burns, you know, and you know what they doing. Just hold your stance, stay there, you know, and then respond. You know? And because I don't think anybody's intent really though is to go into a battle to knock somebody the fuck out. Like that's not gonna happen. That's not. I mean, but there are some cats that try to push the limit. Like I see people from Europe do that a lot.
They get right up to the line.
They get up
and
like
be like, "That's not hip hop, bro." It's like, "Yo, man, you done passed hip hop a while back, but
yeah, you know, I see it. You know, it's like that's not happening, and so sometimes you just gotta let people know. Look, straight off the top, like, don't get near me, man. You know, like you just gotta let them know, like, you know, and if they don't know you, it's good to just let them know, like, this is my space. Back up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and. You know, I seen the homie Stunts. He responded to a question being asked, and he really conducted himself really well. You know, I loved his response. I saw Cross One. His response was really dope.
What happened? What's cooking? Something happened in the scene about touching?
Yeah. You know.
Oh shit.
Much. I mean, there was like a video where somebody got some popper dumped some water on some like I don't know, some other style dance, some whacker. Like, and like, you know, why do you gotta, I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand why you would just dump water on somebody like that. Like, for real, this is like dancing. Like this, you know, like it doesn't matter who you rep, what crew you rep, where you from, or what you think you know, or, yo, bro, like, you're gonna throw water on the dance floor? Like, are you serious? That's not smart.
Right.
That's not smart. Like, regardless, you know, how tough you think you are, like, you know, I think my grandfather always told me that there's always somebody bigger and badder than you. Remember that. And so every time, like, I would get in a jam, not a breaking jam, but a jam in the street, you always keep that in your head. You always keep that in your mind. You never underestimate somebody who's like maybe 3 feet tall to 8 feet tall. You never do that, man.
Never, dude.
Nah. And I thank my granddad for that, because that kept me safe. That kept me healthy. You know, like, you know, when it was time, you know, so you're not going to throw water on the floor when I'm dancing. That's all I know.
Right. Yeah. That's crazy, man. I had no idea that whole kind of thing was popping off. For me, yeah, it's no touching. Same as you know what I'm saying? Like, I come from that era where, like, I had a lot of homies that like to slap box, and you can't just go see them slap box and come over and slap box. You gotta like be like, hey, you know, hey, y'all be slap boxing? Is it cool? Can I get down? You know what I mean? You kind of like, and then you start playing and figuring out how hard you can hit, and then, but again, you still got to get invited in to physical contact, even if it's playful. So for me, like, if I was battling you and we didn't, not slap box in the face, but we just kept like touching each other, doing some footwork or something that's playing playful, that's cool too. But we would make sure that was established beforehand. You know what I'm saying? And so, and we'd be cool. It wouldn't be with no random strangers or some people I don't know from a different country. So for me, that's where I come with it. Like, yo, like, no, that's, you gotta, there's a conversation that need to be had before some touching. Like,
you know, yeah, and that needs to be like put to rest. Like, because I mean, there's so many more, like the influx of kids that are being involved too. Like, we can't teach them that, and you know, we just can't. You know, it's cool to have an aggressive battle style. I think, you know, there's aggressive nature involved, of course. I mean, where hip hop started, where breaking started. Cool to keep that essence about the dance. But, yo, keep your hands off of people. I mean, I wouldn't want nobody pushing my little girl around. That actually happened out here in Fresno once. And, you know, uneducated people to the dance and to the community at the time didn't know how to discipline that person who did that to my oldest. And it's like, when I think about it, I'm Charles, man. You don't do that.
Right.
Like, And you know, that's where that comes in. And I would not want somebody touching my little girl that way, or my son. Like he don't know nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
5-year-old kids, they don't know nothing. You know, like they just, like my daughter says, Dad, I'm gonna practice my air flares. And I'm like, go ahead, you know, go do it. That's all they really know, is what they really see from us. You know?
Yeah.
And so I would say just, yo, stop all that like, there's cats that are not from certain areas that try to come off like that. Like, that's sucker shit. Don't do that.
Yeah, the facade, man. People put it on, try it on at the store, and end up going home wearing it.
And you wear it. You own it.
Yeah.
You know, you own it.
That's why I put it that way, man, because that's just real.
And I brought up like stunts. I'm like, you would never ever like put your hands on that guy. Like, you're not going to do that. So like,
wait, someone did that to stunts?
No, I'm just saying, like,
okay, I was like,
you would never do that to him. Like, if I were to battle stunts, I've battled him before. I've repped with him before, and I think about it, and it's like, yo, keep your space.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you just know with homies like that, it's like you respect them. You know, like the homie G Wiz too, like aggressive. Back in the day, he was so aggressive. His little brothers came off, they were aggressive, you know, and I love that about those guys. And, you know, real chingon, like just, you know. And
I love G Wiz, Angel.
But love a loving dude outside of that, like a real kind people. Like, you can talk to them. Like, some people try to take that attitude within that battle, and then they take that shit everywhere. I'm like, nah.
No, you can't do that. No. We live this life, but you don't live like that.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Like
right. Yeah, man. But yo, I think that was great. That was with my 5, like, I don't likes and what I do like. I mean, I hope that comes off right. But
for sure, man.
Yeah, you know, and yeah, brother.
Perspective from an OG. To me, it's always good to have.
Hey, I mean, I don't know. You know, like, big ups to Brother Ness for, you know, sharing some words, what he did with all the people on his platform on Facebook the other day. You know, I really appreciate that guy. I'm always going to say that, because I see cats like causing trouble, wanting respect. And sometimes, like, people won't give it to you if you really didn't earn it, man. Facts. You know, they're not going to give it to you. And I mean, I think about me slowly kind of leaving this whole community sometimes, and I'm like, yo, that's dope. I can roll up somewhere and be like, hey, what's up? How you doing, man? It's good to see you. You know, can I buy you a beer? You want to have some lunch? You know, what's up, man? What you been up to? Let's cipher. Let's talk.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, for sure, man. It's amazing. This culture is amazing, man. And that's always got some jewels. He's always got some jewels.
Always speaking the truth, right? Like,
yeah, man.
He's always speaking his truth. And
his truth is pretty aligned with a lot of real truth.
Yeah, I mean, you see, like, people they can sit and listen to it, or they don't have to, you know. And me, man, I think for me personally, I'm just happy to be a man. Like, I'm happy to be able to be a functional adult. And I mean, I never thought that I would be sitting in my own studio having little podcasts with one of my good friends. You know, I never thought that I would travel over the world and meet so many awesome people with different perspectives and different opinions and, you know, different skills. Like, I'm overflowed with, this is like an abundance of, like, hip hop, man. So
it's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, brother. Well, yo, episode 4 coming up next week, right?
Yes, sir. Y'all stay tuned.
You know, yo, reach out if you guys got any type of questions. If you guys, you know, you want to talk about something, you want to be a guest on here, that would be really dope. Man, let's just conversate. Let's just talk, you know. Let's get that therapy in for all our people out there that need somebody to speak with. Yo, we're here. My boy Rick here, you know.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a good listener. Holla at us. Let us know. We all about that feedback. We artists. So the only way we can grow is from hearing from y'all and stuff. And, you know, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking it out. Next week, it's on.
It's on. Yo, peace, my guy.
Peace out, fam.
Peace, bro.